No Sunday service needed. If Jesus is the only Wi-Fi, who set the password? The truth is, access to God was never restricted, only believed to be. Somewhere in the dream, the ego decided to play network administrator and built routers called churches, convinced it could manage spirit's bandwidth. It hung crosses like logos, handed out passwords disguised as doctrine, and told the mind that salvation required a subscription. But spirit signal was never down. The connection was always live, everywhere, for everyone. No buffering, no outages, no Sunday service required. Just an awakened mind that remembers to log in. Or rather, remembers there was never a logout. The Course in Miracles says there is no order of difficulty in miracles because all connection is immediate. That's another way of saying, love doesn't need a signal booster. The thought of separation tried to make distance where none existed, and so time, space, and religion became metaphorical error messages. You are not connected. But that message was never from God. It came from the belief that God could be apart from what He is. The ego's favorite trick is to sell you reconnection to what was never disconnected. Every steeple, every sermon, every ritual is the ego's attempt to disguise static as sacred. It says, wait until Sunday. Go through him. Obey her. Tithe here. Kneel there. Yet none of these reroute you to God. They only reinforce the fantasy of distance. In truth, revelation is not earned, it's remembered. The mind doesn't climb to heaven, it unplugs from illusion. The body may gather in buildings, but the spirit does not congregate, it integrates. The network is one, unbroken, eternal. When the Course says, the kingdom of heaven is within you, it's describing the full bar signal already humming beneath all fear. Every grievance is like airplane mode. It blocks reception, not because the tower stopped broadcasting, but because the mind chose to disconnect. Forgiveness is the switch that turns the service back on. It doesn't beg for grace, it accepts that grace was never suspended. Picture the ego's router room, blinking lights, endless passwords, false authorities in robes guarding the ports. Now picture the Holy Spirit walking in and pulling the plug, not out of rebellion but revelation. Because once the illusion of control goes dark, the infinite light comes through. That's what true worship looks like. Not bodies kneeling before an altar, but minds rising beyond the firewall of guilt. Every holy instant is a data burst of divine awareness, timeless, wireless, seamless. The Son of God doesn't stream truth, He is truth. And truth can't be downloaded or delayed. It simply radiates, everywhere, always. So the next time the ego whispers, you need a better connection, laugh gently. Because the line was never busy. The signal was never lost. And salvation? It's not a membership plan. It's remembering that God never hung up. Portrait of a seeker caught in the fine print of faith. A soul that believed the Wi-Fi of heaven required a password, that holiness was something to log into, and God's love required a Sunday signal. But the static was never in the sky. It was in the mind that mistook the router for the source, and the church for the connection. Tonight's lesson from the twilight zone of separation: you can't lose a line that was never cut. You can build cathedrals, you can quote the manuals, you can tithe your coins and count your prayers, but Spirit's network doesn't bill by the month. It runs on one frequency only: love. Always on, never buffering, not a drop of data lost in the cosmos. So if you happen to hear silence where the choir should be, don't adjust your set. You're already connected. No Sunday service needed.